So in this video, I'm going to be showing you on how to use correlation to give you an edge before you even start your day. So I'm going to walk you through the entire webinar, and after the webinar, don't forget you can use the links below to pick up more example sets and a live trade example on how I use everything that was taught in the webinar to give you more examples and a live trade from that knowledge. Don't forget, I also show you how I use the FX Meter app on the iPhone to actually make my decisions. Let's get started.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good evening. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? I see there's a lot of people in you. I dropped some cake. I see there's a lot of you guys in here right now. 746 people in here. Let's see. Where is everybody from? We got Ibiza, Nigeria, Hong Kong, India, Mars, Botswana representing, eating cake again. Yes, Florian. We are back to cake. My diet is over. I am back to munching on these things. Rigia, Brazil, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, Ghana, Pakistan, Indonesia, Slovakia, Iran, Chile. What else am I missing? Tanzania, Peru. I can't even keep up anymore. Philippines, Slovenia, South Africa, North Carolina, I saw in there, Morocco. Okay, well, thank you all for coming in here. We got 800 people in here and counting. We have a very, very large webinar here today, a very important topic to talk about. How many of you guys were actually at the Facebook Live that we are here now together? So, those of you who do not know, prior to doing these webinars, I actually hang out in Facebook Live with some of my students. So an hour before the webinars, usually you will see me on our Facebook Live. You will get the links in your emails when you get the recording, so you have an idea of next time if you are coming to our webinars, you can come hang out with me. An hour before the webinar. So we talk, we relax, and then as the webinar starts, we get straight into trading. All right, so those of you who do not know me, my name is Navin from urbanforex.com. I am your mentor at Urban Forex and the senior trader at forexwatchers.com and the CEO and founder of Black Tower Investments. That's all the credentials, right? Is there more? No, that's it. Okay. Yeah, so I had to go through that. Yeah. Okay, so yes, it is recorded. So those of you who are going to ask me that throughout the webinar, I'm telling you right now, it is recorded. So if there is any issues, there's going to be a button that says reconnect on top. You can click on that if you have any issues to get in. Once the number hits 1,000, there's going to be some issues for people getting in or with the chat or something like that. So keep that in mind going forward into next time. Okay. Audio and video, everything good? Can everyone see my circle? Yeah, everything good? You guys can hear me just fine? Okay, once I see some yeses, we're going to get started. Okay. There we go. Okay. So there is a small lag, but we're going to get started here. Excellent. One last thing, keep all your questions until the end. You guys already know I do not like to waste your time. Let's go straight into the topics. We're going to discuss everything leading up to the end, and then towards the end, we can go into Q&A. Yeah? So let's get started. All right. So today's topic is how to start your day with an edge. How many of you guys actually have an edge? Okay, how many of you guys actually have an edge, which basically means are you able to start your day with, I know what trade I need to take. I know what trade I don't need to take. I have to be careful with this. I don't have to be careful with that. All these things, right? You have to be very careful with these things, right? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you some of the techniques I personally use. I'm going to actually show you some trades I've taken. I don't normally do this, but I do share at least one live trade in every webinar that I do. So you always have an example, okay? So you're never like, oh, it's anyone can do this in hindsight, Bubba. Yeah, but yeah, it's not hindsight. I'm showing you live what I've done, how much money was made and stuff and so on and so forth. And how many of you guys here, actually, let me ask you, how many guys here are here for your first time? Okay, how many guys here for your first time? So I have an idea of who we're dealing with in here and how many guys are return traders. Now, the reason why I'm asking this stuff, so I want you guys to see how many people come back to these webinars. A lot of these people are, some of them are just following me on YouTube, but a lot of you guys are actually student of mine, okay? And that's how we like to keep it. We want to keep raising the bar to make sure you can keep learning, keep growing, and keep prospering, okay? And that is our goal at Urban Forex and our mission going into 2019. Okay, very good. So we have a good 22% is your first time here. So welcome, welcome. 79% of you have already been victims of me when I torture you guys in the webinars. So welcome back to your torture. 1 hour of torture with Navin. Here we go. All right, let's do this. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Boom. Here we go. Okay, it should be out of your way now. Okay, so for those of you who are watching me on the Facebook Live, we discussed this trade that I was in for New Zealand CAD. This one, unfortunately, I just got stopped out, as you can see here. This is my account. So I ended up with a loss on this. I made minus $262 on this, but overall net, I'm in profit for New Zealand CAD for $1,100. And New Zealand Swiss franc, this trade was actually given to me by my students. Okay, this wasn't even something that I picked. My students yesterday in the conference room pointed this out saying, hey man, I'm looking at New Zealand Swiss franc. What do you think about it? And then I had to take a look at it. I said, it's not right for me, not now, maybe later into the market, I can think about it. Later into the market, I happened to be awake. I saw the opportunity and I made money from that. And this one generated a close to 9,600 for me. So kudos to all of you students who pointed out. If any of you guys who are from the elite in here, give yourself a round of applause. Very, very good. It is a very proud day for me to be able to say, hey, my students are actually pointing me in the right direction every now and then. That's fantastic. So very, very fantastic. It's a very proud day for me. Humbling and very, very proud. I love it. I love it. All right. So today's correlation. So that was the update on the trades that was running. I can see the room is now full. We've crossed the 1,000 mark. So some of you guys will have issues to chat. Just to let you know, once you cross that, you will have some issues. Okay, yes, I will be handing out cakes to all of you guys who recommended New Zealand Swiss franc to me yesterday. So all of you guys in elite, cakes coming your way. All right. So the question comes out to is, how do you start your day with an edge? How do you start your day with an edge? And what does that mean? What does that mean? So preparation, right? Preparation is a big thing when it comes to trading. If you do not prepare for the day ahead, what you're doing is you're setting up for failure. Okay, I know it sounds very rough and very hard. It's like, man, why is this guy scaring me? But I really want you guys to know that you need to prepare your days ahead of time. And the reasoning I put and the practice that we put in place at Urban Forex is obviously saying, if you did not put in at least an hour before studying a single pair, you cannot take that trade. It is wrong to take that trade if you didn't study for it for at least an hour. Does that make sense? Because that's how much time it takes for you to do some analysis. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, okay, I can get the preparation part, but what if I don't know how to prepare? Right? That's a valid question to ask. I don't know how to prepare. Navin, what do we do if I wake up, I scratch my butt in the morning, and I'm going towards my computer? What do I do? What do I do? How do I start? Okay, so here's what I do for my mornings. Okay, I wake up in the morning. Obviously, I do my morning routines and everything, and then I go through my charts like this. Okay, I have my entire list. Okay, I do something that's called correlation. Okay, something called correlation. Correlation is, what does one market mean to another? What does one market mean to another? So let's discuss that piece by piece. So far, so good. Everyone can hear me? Okay. Wayfinder, you're asking, you don't scratch your butt too, Navin? Well, yes, I do. But in case there's little kids, let's stop talking about me scratching my butt. Sorry about that. But yes, we are all human. So let's talk about this from one at a time. So let's say we start from the Aussie group. I start from the Aussie group. And if you can see, I have a list of all the Aussie pairs from the market. There's Aussie Cad, Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen, Aussie New Zealand, Aussie USD, Euro Aussie, and Pound Aussie. Okay, generally there is 7 pairs in each group. And then you want to be focusing on what to do with this piece of information. So let's take a look at this. Now, if you're looking at Euro Cad, Aussie Cad. Okay, if you're looking at Aussie Cad, what you're doing, okay, what we do in-house is we're trying to figure out what's the flow, okay? What's the flow of the market for today? What's the flow of the market for today? Now, technical analysis says this. Hey guys, you just made a lower low. That's support equals resistance. But in case you read it wrong, this is also support equals resistance. In case you read that wrong, there is a Fibonacci retracement coming in from here to here, and that's 38 point something percent. Some of you guys are saying, well, there is a supply and demand level coming over here. There's so much information being thrown at you, right? So much information, and you're sitting there like, is it a sell? Is it a buy? What in the world is it? Or do I just try it and we see what it is? Does that make sense? This is a dilemma for many, many people. And if you didn't notice it in one way, the trader will trade it in the other way. Okay? All right, so now let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Okay? So in Aussie CAD, what I'm generally looking for is which way is the market flowing? There are several factors I look at. We're not going to get into each of those factors in detail right now, but I'm going to give you a brief overview. Okay? So when I look at Aussie CAD, I look at the flow as down. Okay? I look at the flow as down. Okay? So that's one down. Aussie Swiss Franc. Look at the flow here. I'm like, I don't know where the flow is. Sideways. Very confusing. Sideways. I'm interested in this area only. That much data. I'm not interested in data that comes in from the left side of your screen all the way into your neighbor's house. I don't want that much data. That's too much data. Okay? Some of you guys are saying the video is lagging. I can just refresh my screen. Give me a second here. I'll do that. There is supposed to be a little bit of a lag. It's just normal. But for many of you guys, can you guys still hear me and see my screen? Should be okay, yeah? All right, let's keep going. All right, let's keep going. So I am interested in a small amount of data, okay? I'm interested in a small amount of data, not too much. And I'm trying to see which way is the markets are going, okay? Which way the markets are going. So when I determine the flow of the direction of the market, I can now say, okay, for this one, sideways. Let's take a look at Aussie Yen. This one also sideways. I'm now on Aussie Yen 60 minute, and it's showing me I have no direction, sideways. Aussie New Zealand. Okay, this one has direction. This one is telling me the flow is down. Okay. Aussie USD, pretty much sideways. Okay, looks like we just probed the bottom and came right back sideways. Euro Aussie, now this is inversed. It's telling me Aussie is pretty much holding above that area, which could mean Aussie is still weak. Because remember, Aussie is on the right side. A chart always represents what is your left currency. So if the chart is going up, your left currency is getting stronger. If the chart is going down, your left currency is getting weaker. The opposite is true for the right currency. Okay? So in this particular case, we are seeing, since the market is trying to go upwards, Aussie is weak here. In Pound Aussie, Okay, in pound Aussie, we are seeing the same thing. The market's jumped up. Aussie is weak here. So we have, one Aussie, pound Aussie is weak. Euro Aussie is weak. Okay, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi just dropped. I am back. Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, it's completely weird. My Wi-Fi just dropped suddenly. I think the big boys don't want me to share this information with you. Okay, so we said Euro Aussie was weak. Pound Aussie was weak in case for Aussie, yeah? And same thing with Aussie Cad, it's weak. So out of the 7 pairs, we have 3 that are saying weak out of 7. What you want to think, is that the majority? So let me ask you guys, is that a majority of pairs? Okay, for those of you who are asking if that is no, that is not the majority of pairs, that is correct. What I'm looking for is it a majority? Okay, what I'm looking for is this the majority? Okay, if I find a majority, what that means to me is there a big boy involved in this? Is there a very, very big boy involved in this? Okay, so let me show you. Now, we do this in-house automatically in the elite community. So it's already been done manually. It gets done manually in the mornings by Armo. So many of you guys already know Armo. He is the team leader for our support team and also a junior mentor at forexwatchers.com and team leader at urbanforex.com. So a lot of you guys already know him. He prepares these in the mornings. And so today's data shows us Swiss franc is at -5. Let me make this bigger so everyone can see it. Okay. It's showing us Swiss franc is at -5. Yen is at +5. Pound is at +5. And New Zealand is at +5. Okay. Does everyone understand everything so far? What these numbers represent and how we got to these numbers? Of course, these numbers have a lot more stuff involved into how we do the research because it's all done manually. There is no indicators or anything. Yeah, so far so good. Everyone understand that situation? So this trade that was done last night by me comes from that data of New Zealand and Swiss franc. Okay, so if I'm using a technical analysis strategy, how do I know that if I'm going to be trading, there's not going to be a spike down to stop me out? Okay, how many of you guys experience you're in a trade and then the market spikes down? So let's say you're doing a buy. Let's say right here. I'm writing down the word buy. You do a buy right here. And as the buy is going, trying, it spikes down, stops you out, and then it jumps higher. Okay, it jumps higher. Does that happen to many of you guys? And then at that stage, what do we say? What do we normally say? Well, my broker is pretty bad. I need to switch brokers. I need to do this. I need to do that. Without even understanding, hey, you know why that spike is actually happening? You're trading on a pair that actually has some selling strength in it. Okay, you're trading in a pair that actually has some selling strength in it. Now, let me give you an example of this. So let's move to the New Zealand. Let's move. Some of you guys are saying, I say WTF. Okay, let's move to the New Zealand, and I'm going to show you this one by one. Aussie New Zealand. Okay, here we have Aussie New Zealand. Now, Aussie New Zealand is dropping and dropping and dropping. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers again. Aussie is at -3. New Zealand is at +5. Which way do you think Aussie New Zealand is supposed to go? Okay. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted. New Zealand is a +5, so New Zealand is strong, which means this chart needs to go downwards. And what about Aussie? Is Aussie going to be a problem if you sell it? Is Aussie going to be a problem if you sell it? Notice this interesting thing. Aussie is a -3. That means Aussie is slightly weak. Aussie is slightly weak. Notice, for a simple technical analysis person, a person who doesn't do any research and he just knows basic technical analysis, and he says, well, I can see a trend line here. If you even work with a trend line like that, knowing this correlation information, the odds of you getting spiked out and stopped before the trade moving in your direction drops dramatically. It drops dramatically. Okay? How many of you guys are having an aha moment right now? It's like, okay, so I got to do this little extra bit of research in the morning to actually find out where is the real big boy. Okay? Because most people are trained that your big boy means your higher time frame, but not the entire currency movement. Okay? There is a huge movement of the currency. Okay? Matthew, right. Why did you get stopped out then? Unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball to make $1 million per trade time after time. In that particular trade, we'll come to it. Actually, that's a very good question. We'll come to it also. So that's the New Zealand Cad trade that you're asking me about. I do some stuff that is extremely powerful, and I use those numbers in some special ways. I can explain that in probably another webinar because we won't have time to go into more advanced techniques today. Okay, we won't be able to go into advanced techniques, but this is basically from last night till now. You can see these are the P&Ls plus and minus. This is my live account. So New Zealand Cad was the trade where the money was made. And then, New Zealand Swiss franc, and then New Zealand Cad later on into the day. Okay, later on into the day today, prior to this event. So I actually did make money on it. My second or third position was slight loss. Okay, now, so let's go into the next one. Euro New Zealand. Okay, before even researching this pair, we already know New Zealand is strong, right? You guys all agree with me? Okay, Wayfinder, you're asking if I use any indicators. Nope, no indicators. No indicators. Okay, everyone understood that New Zealand is strong, right? Which means seller's market in this particular case, because if New Zealand is strong, that means the counter currency, this chart needs to go downwards. Okay, what do we know about Euro? What do we know about Euro? Euro is a -1. Can we, if we see a setup, whatever our setup might be, whether that's swing trading, scalping, or you're doing a trading system, or you're following the trend, or you're using MAs, whichever system are the, do you have a large player telling you they're coming after you? Or if you sell, you're selling with the big boy. You're going in the direction they want to go anyways. Okay? Do not give your orders to the big boys as a donation. Do not give your orders to the big boys as a donation, because this information, I'm putting it out there for you guys, this information gives you that extra heads up of, wait a minute, where's the flow of the market? Not just the flow of your higher time frame, but the flow of the larger player, Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So Aussie New Zealand, decent. Euro New Zealand, decent. What about Pound New Zealand? Okay, Pound New Zealand. What does Pound say? Pound says Pound is +5. Whoa. New Zealand is +5. Whoa. They're both strong. What does that tell you about this pair? Let me put this up side by side for you to look at. Okay, side by side for you to look at. We have Aussie New Zealand. Let me put up Aussie New Zealand here and Pound New Zealand next to it. I'm going to put two charts. Here we go. Can you tell me, here's Pound New Zealand. Okay, Can you tell me the difference between the smoothness of the left chart and the right chart? And can you tell me the distance traveled between the left chart and the right chart? Okay, give it a second. The video is gonna come up. I'll take it slowly. Okay, I'll in fact refresh the screen. One moment. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, you can clearly see if you traded around this area yesterday using whatever methods you use to trade, whichever system you're using. You can see the smoothness of this trade with hiccups, very, very little. Versus at that same time, if you were to enter a sell, look at that thing coming at you. Look at that thing halting. Would you be comfortable to hold on to that trade and saying, it's going to keep going, it's going to keep going? Or are you going to be worried every time it snaps back and you're like, oh my God. Every time you hit the sell, it jumps back at you. Oh my God. What do I do? Do I exit? Is the sell actually going to work? Maybe the sell's off. Your brain starts to doubt your analysis. What if you put yourself in a position where your brain won't have to doubt your analysis? You already start your day with an edge. That's what this webinar is all about. Does that make sense? Are you guys starting to understand what I'm trying to explain here? Okay, good. So let's take a look at the next one. We got New Zealand Cad. New Zealand Cad. What does New Zealand Cad say? Now this time, New Zealand is on the left side, so New Zealand is strong. But what about CAD? CAD is -3. Okay, this one seems to be okay. Look at the smoothness of this one. Smooth rides, smooth rides. Hit your resistance, exit, cha-ching. Hit your resistance, exit, cha-ching. It's smooth, smooth rides. You deal with very less problems. If you enter in this area and your stop loss is below your recent low doesn't get tested as easily. Your recent low will not get tested so easily. And my New Zealand CAD is now just starting to go up. We should throw tomatoes at them. That's okay. That's okay. So we'll get into this smaller time frame move as well and see how my little tiny stop loss on this one took the best of me and took me out on this. Okay, so we'll go over this towards the end. We'll come into that. All right, so now let's take a look at the next one. New Zealand Swiss franc. Okay, New Zealand Swiss franc. What can you tell me about this one? What can you tell me about this one? New Zealand is +5 and Swiss franc -5. So one is telling you New Zealand is strong, so it needs to go upwards. And then it's telling you Swiss franc is weak. It means upwards. They're both telling you upwards. This is telling you, whatever the case may be, New Zealand, the world wants to buy. Whatever the case may be, Swiss franc, the world wants to dump and get rid of. Now, when I say the world, I mean larger players. They're the ones who are moving the market. Not me, not you, not the neighbors, not the dog. It's unfortunately the larger players. This is a trade I got into yesterday, and I was able to exit up in this area. I got in around here. Oh, sorry, my circle is not coming in. Okay, here we go. There's the circle. And I got out around there. It was very, very easy to ride. Okay, very, very easy to ride. As least complications as possible. In fact, if I click on it, you will be able to see my entry and exit. I don't know if you can see my positions, little dashes here where my buys are, and you can see all these little dashes of how I exited that buy into a sell. I exited those positions into piece by piece by piece by piece, and then I scaled out. Okay, and now it's still trying to continue to rise, and P&L and everything. So that's your example from not even 24 hours ago. It's not even 24 hours ago. Okay. So far, so good. Everyone understanding so far? Okay. All right. Okay, so now, if we have focus on the larger player, because this has to give you an edge, right? You want to start your day by saying, okay, what can I do to make sure I'm not in the way of a larger player? Okay, you want to start your day with that and be like, okay, so I wake up in the morning, we do your routine, you scratch your butt, and you walk towards your screen, you sit down, and you're like, okay. I got to look through the charts. I want to make sure that I have the flow correctly. You can do this on your own, obviously. You can do this on your own very vaguely, like I just did. You can do this on your own. Those of you who are in the elite community, you obviously have access to the strength meter on the left-hand side on the bottom. Here it says currency strength. You have it over there. And those of you who do not know, we actually now even have this on the app. We actually even have this on the app. In fact, Lucille, can I get my cell phone? We actually have this on the app. We have now actually released this onto the App Store. We haven't released this onto the Android yet, but it is available onto the iOS App Store for iTunes. You can get it on your cell phone, on your iPhone, or you can get it on your iPad. Okay? So it is there. It is a lot more easier to read, a lot more beautiful, as you can see. And you can flip it sideways and see some nice charts and everything and get your numbers there for daily and weekly. Again, this is all manually done. This is all manually done. It is not done by indicators. It is done by a human being. Okay. So basically what I'm actually trying to tell you guys is no indicators were harmed in the making of this app. Yeah. So if you want to get it, you can go to the iOS store and search for FX Meter, and you'll be able to pick it up over there. Okay, let's get back to the charts. Let's get back to the charts so we can go into that. We do have some information about if you want to get this for Android, you can get onto the waiting list, and we will let you know once it's released. You can pick it up on day one. Okay, it is almost going to be ready. If I'm not mistaken, by next month, it should be up and running. Okay, let me get this back onto the charts, and let me get this out of the way. Okay, here we go. Okay, and we're constantly improving it. We're constantly improving it. This is just version 1. It is under my management, and if I'm gonna put my name on it, then it's gonna be top notch and the best quality you're gonna find out there. Okay, so be sure to constantly see updates and upgrades and stuff like that. We're gonna make it even better going forward. Okay, so that was for New Zealand Swiss franc. Now, a lot of these things are very, very important. So many times what happens is people blame their brokers thinking, hey man, I got spiked out. Why am I spiked out? Very, very grumpy, right? Now, this happens a lot because a lot of your recent lows are being targeted. This comes very in handy when I keep getting asked the question of, hey Navin, where should I put my stop losses? Where should I put my stop loss? I get that question quite a bit. And I'm sitting there in a dilemma of like, okay, how do I explain this in 1 year? Because I can't explain it in a single email, and I can't explain it in a single webinar. I have to explain it through the entire process of trading. It is only then you will understand where to put a stop loss correctly. Okay? So what we're looking for is, if you want to understand where to keep your stop losses a little bit safer, you want to know that you're not going to get hit for any reason whatsoever by just not simply doing that little extra homework in the morning before you sit down. So these numbers that we're doing, we always update them prior to Frankfurt Open, which is basically an hour and a half before London. Okay? So whatever time London is for you, an hour and a half before that, our numbers are updated. That is a good time that we see to do them. After all the tests that we've done, that is the ideal time to do it. So if you do it on your own, do it at that time. Do it at that time. Look through the charts and do your analysis and find out, well, what am I going to do on my different pairs? So I do this, we do this every single day for all 28 pairs. We go through them one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay. I think can everyone still hear me? Okay. Seems like the audio is going in and out. 1 second. Let me close my platform and all this extra stuff here. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn off my audio and turn it back on as well. Yeah, apologies, guys. When we go over 1,000 people, it starts going crazy. The software can't handle it. So we need to look into other softwares to handle a larger load. So, okay, some of you guys are saying solid audio. Some of you guys are saying there are some issues with that. But let's keep going. The recording will be sent out anyways within probably the next few hours after the webinar is over. But I wanted to get the point across to you guys that when you sit down in the morning, be sure to do your currency analysis in the morning. Okay, be sure to do your currency analysis in the morning, to watch them one by one and do it very, very consistently every single day. It's very important to do that. It's very, very important to do that. To be honest, it's been the secret to my success over the years. I use it for entry. I use it for exit. I use it to understand if I should even be taking that trade at all. Okay, if I should be taking that trade at all. Okay. All right. So I see some of you guys are asking about the app or the elite community. If you have any questions, you can just email us at info@urbanforex. If we can update the name of the app onto the bulletin on top, Armo or Lucas or Sergio or anyone, any teammates, then it'll be easier for all of you guys to see it. Okay, let's do some more examples. We need to do some more examples on this so you guys get a hang of it. All right, let's do some more practice. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many guys want to see more examples of this? Because I actually feel really bad for how you guys are, sort of suffering through this. Although you're having aha moments, but at the same time, I know, you guys want to learn this stuff. So what I'm going to do is after the recordings, I'm also going to send you guys some example sets for this. Yeah, is that good? Would you guys like that? I'll send you guys some more example sets. If I have some more trades that I do throughout the week, I'll send you an update on that as well to let you know, how I did the trade based on this logic. Okay, I'm not going to go into everything that I do because that's going to take very, very long, but I can go into how just using this little technique has helped me tenfold to increase my odds of winning dramatically. Okay, because I want to see you guys apply this instantly, and everything that I do in every webinar you can use instantly. You need to apply it. Okay, and you should judge the person that you're learning from. You should always judge the person you're learning from. So if you don't feel what I'm teaching you is right or wrong, go out there, try it, and then you can get back to me. And that's the best way. It's the best principle I've always kept when I was learning. It's the principle you should keep when you're learning, and never stop learning. Keep pushing. So let's do some more examples together. And then I'll send you example sets also. Yeah, let's do some more. Let's take a look at another group. What group do you guys want to look at? We have Aussie, we have CAD. We looked at Aussie, we looked at New Zealand. What other groups do you guys want to look at? Okay, some of you guys are asking about Android. Android will be released sometimes next month or later. You guys can get onto the waiting list for that. You'll receive an email after this webinar regarding the apps and all that stuff, so you won't miss it. Don't worry. Okay, so some of you guys are saying pound. Okay, very, very good. Pound is actually coming onto the radar right now. Okay, it is on the radar right now. Let's have a look together. Okay, I'm going to do it one by one, and then we can do some stuff side by side so you can see the difference and the benefits of it. Yeah, let's do it one by one, side by side. Okay, euro pound. The flow. Let me go back to the 1 hour charts. What would you say the flow of euro pound is right now? What direction is pound? Okay. Pound is strong in this one, right? Pound is strong for this one. Let's take a look at the next one. What about pound Aussie? Pound Aussie. Okay, we went through this one already before. We can see pound here is also strong. That's 2 out of 2 so far. 2 out of 2. Okay, again, I am not interested in looking for all of this data. That's too much information. I am interested in seeing recent market. Okay, there is no fixed number of candles. I know that's the next question coming. How many candles back do I need to look at this? You're looking at the recent market and you're looking for, is there a substantial something that catches your eye? If yes, pay attention to that. Okay, but don't make it a strict thing like, okay, 6 candles exactly or 7 candles exactly. Yeah, don't do that. You need to flow like water when it comes to trading. Do not be very, very stubborn. Okay, it will take from you if you do that. Okay, pound CAD, same thing. Current market is trying to tell you it's strong. Pound Swiss franc, the next one, it's trying to tell you it's strong. Did you just notice what was the difference between pound Swiss franc and pound CAD? Okay, let me put pound CAD here. All the pairs was going up super fast, super high, and pound CAD is unable to even make a higher high from its recent high. If this is the recent high, he cannot go higher. But in pound Swiss, if this is that same recent high, we've gone higher. Okay? We haven't even done any technical analysis, but we know just before starting the day, we have this information. Wait, pound is strong across the board. What's wrong with pound CAD? I don't understand. Let's take a look at the charts here. Okay, let me go into the currency strength. Sorry. Okay, in fact, let me see if I can pull it up onto, you guys want to see it in the app? Okay, you guys can see it in, well, actually, since we don't have much time, let me just show you right here quickly. Pound CAD, so today CAD is at -3, and yesterday we were dealing with CAD at -1. So there's nothing in CAD that's telling you it is not the best pair to be on, or it's not, or it is the worst pair to be on. Nothing on CAD that's telling you that. But if you actually look at CAD today, you will see strength coming into CAD. You will see strength coming into CAD, which is why CAD is fighting against pound. It's trying to not go anywhere. It's the worst one. It's the worst one trying to get through. Okay? It's the worst one trying to get through. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Just keep track of these things. So far, everything is plus, plus, plus. Pound is strong for all of them. Pound yen, very strong, right? Pound yen, very strong, telling you the buys are in control. Pound New Zealand. Okay, now pound New Zealand, the buys are not working. They're actually going down. Whoa. Do you remember when we looked at the New Zealand group, we said, look at the pound. The pound has so much trouble in it. Look at all the spikes and, oh my God, what am I going to do? If you were in the sell, but what if you were looking at pound and thinking for some buys, your buys are going to have problem too. Every time it goes down, it jumps right back up. Every time it goes down, it jumps right back up. Doesn't that tell you that, hey man, someone's trying to buy this at the same time? You're not getting a smooth flow out of this. So why even bother trying to do some technical analysis or apply your strategy to this? Does that make sense? That helps you to avoid one pair on your chart and saying, you know what? I'm not going to even touch this. In fact, I have something that Navin taught me. I'm going to go into my color theme and I'm going to make this gray and be like, oh, this one means no touching. Okay, I do that on my chart sometimes. I turn it gray, which means don't touch this pair today. I don't care how good it looks. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. And don't even have your dog talk about it. Okay, leave it out of your trading. Make sense? All right, so let me move this back, please. 1 second. And here we go. Okay, so that's that. And finally, we have pound dollar. Pound dollar, same thing, making higher highs, clean higher highs, pound is strong. Now here's an interesting thing I want to show you guys. Okay, so let's say whether it's pound Aussie or pound CAD or any of these things, if I open this up and I show you this, what goes into your mind when any average person looks at this as a buying or selling? What do you think they are thinking? What kind of market is this? Is it a buyer's market? Is this a seller's market? Now, here's a little trick. Here's a little trick that you want to do. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick trick. It is a little bit of an overview. It will help you quickly. If you have your higher, bigger players, basically, because yesterday pound was also strong. Today it's also strong, as you can see on both days. Even the day before, it was very strong. On Friday, it was at 7. So pound is strong across the board, but yet temporarily we see sellers are in control. We have support and resistance break. Again, support and resistance break. Again, support and resistance break. And then no lower lows. But we have lower highs. But we have higher lows coming in. When you see a series of sellers coming in, making lower lows, make sure it gets low as possible, because over here, earlier, no one thinks about selling. So you wait. Let the sellers come. When the sellers see this, they're like, huh? Oh, no, I'm still buying it. I don't care what that is. Then they see this part. They're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? My buy is in trouble. What do I do? Because I bought my buy up here because it was rising and I thought it was going to rise forever. But unfortunately, I was wrong. That's so weird. I'm never wrong, right? Then the market comes down even lower. At this point, stop losses are triggered and sells begin. Once the sells begin and you're unable to make lower lows, and we start to breach towards the upside, and you know your higher time frame is telling you pound is strong, the large players have your support, they got your back, go for it. That's when you can come in with a little bit of confidence saying, you know what? Now's the time to do a buy, not later. Because later, once the market goes higher and higher and higher, that's when people be like, well, right now it's a sell. Over here, I'm not sure. Over here, it's like, uh-oh, stop losses maybe. And then up here, they start the buying. Like, okay, now I buy it because now I'm sure it's a buy. No one will even imagine buying when the sell is coming in hot like that. Have your aha moment? Does that make sense? Pippi Monster, Bitcoin vibes again? Yeah, it's exactly like Bitcoin. If you see my interview that I did with Etienne on Desire to Trade in December, I was clearly talking about, hey, anyone who's in Bitcoin is going to suffer badly, is going to very, very suffer really badly. Because this cycle repeats every time. And when you ask that question to anybody, how do you get a 95.5? You explain this chart. Because people buy when the buy is already there. People sell when the sell is already there. Does that make sense? So you want to understand this concept and be like, once anything comes in hot and with full speed, people will jump over it. Okay, so some of you guys are saying, please explain this again. Okay, so markets are going down as a sell. Okay, they're coming down as a sell. But up until that point, no one saw that sell because it was a buyer's market. Whoa, who in their right mind is going to sell in this buyer's market? No way. Okay, your grandma can see it, your dog can see it, your neighbor can see it, everyone can see it's a buy. Okay, people from the moon looking down are saying this is a buy. Are you crazy? And when that buy that you're in, or that anyone is in, starts going down, the first movement is generally, it's okay, it's gonna go up. Nothing happens. Comes down more. It's okay. Support and resistance, baby. I learned this. This is Forex Trading 101. Support and resistance is going to kick in. My 61.8% Fibonacci is going to kick in. My supply and demand is going to kick in. Let me just draw a box because boxes make money. I'm going to do all of this stuff and I'm going to stand aside. Market goes up, comes crashing down lower. Like, uh-oh, what do I do now? Now my confidence is shattered. I don't see this as a buy anymore. My confidence is shattered. Okay. I'm going to exit. I got to get out of this thing. I don't like this thing. I got to get out. So the stop losses are hit, or you manually exit right here. And then the market makes a new low, a lower low. He makes a lower low by breaking that support and resistance. And then the whole world is saying, oh my goodness, did you see that low that was holding since the 8th of October until now? It just broke. Headlines, news, cats and dogs talking about it, neighbors talking about it, everyone's talking about it. It's the new Bitcoin. Get onto this thing. If you're going to make any money, you want your Ferrari, you want whatever you want your $1 million, you better get onto this thing. Otherwise, you are impotent. You get all kinds of pressure coming up to you, right? So then you're like, okay, I got it. I'm going to sell this because everyone on Forex Factory is saying sell, right? So I'm going to sell this. So the sells hit. All right, yeah, I got this. And then the buyers start coming in. And you're like, what in the world is happening? Why is this thing going up in a buy? That's stupid. That's not what I studied in Forex. Support and resistance is supposed to hold. Okay, let me try. Okay, there we go. I think we should be back now. It really looks like a larger player is trying to stop me from telling you this information. Okay, can you guys hear me and see this now? Let me turn on the camera so you, if you see me stop moving, there's a problem. Okay. All right. Okay, so the same thing repeats again. Now, I want you to put this knowledge that I just gave you, put that into the concept of 95.5. If everybody is buying and selling at the very same time, how in the world do you get a 95% failure rate? How is that even possible? It is these moments where the world gets fear or greed. When something dramatic happens and then people jump on it, like Bitcoin. No one even cared about Bitcoin. Suddenly it jumps up so high and then suddenly everyone's a expert in Bitcoins and they're jumping in on it. And then they're telling other people to jump in on it. And then the world is jumping in on it. And we're sitting here like, wow, when can we sell this? Right? So you want to be one step ahead. So, the slogan that we always say at Urban Forex, anticipate, don't participate. If you participate, you will end up messing with the 95% ratio. If you anticipate, you're increasing your odds of thinking like a 5%. Now, you put this information together with what you've learned today in correlation to give you a heads up of, hey, the larger players are buying the pounds, but I can see people are selling. Good. Once people sell, you prepare for your buys. If all of the stuff does not happen, whatever technique or strategy or indicator or system or whatever you have, you need to wait. Stand aside. It means at that moment, you don't trade. You wait. Okay? You can still trade whatever strategy you're doing, but you need to learn when not to do it. And these are the moments when you're not supposed to trade your strategy, your trading system, your indicator, or your Baba guru, whoever told you to buy and sell. You got to be careful at these moments. Make sense? How many of you guys had aha moments right now? Okay, I know I'm asking this again and again. I want to make sure you guys are getting, understanding this and following along piece by piece, piece by piece. Yeah, Pippi Master, very good. Pippi Monster, sorry. Yeah, when the direction is too obvious, we wait. There's no harm in waiting. It doesn't cost us money to wait. We wait. Okay, so much aha. Good. No, I'm glad. This is helping. I'm glad this is helping, and that's the purpose of this. I told you we're not going to waste your time, and we're here to do that every single webinar to make sure that you learn something that you can apply to your trading arsenal. Right? All right. Good. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn off this thing. Okay. I just turned on the camera, so you guys should be able to see my brown face. Yeah? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm, after this webinar, going into tomorrow, I'm going to make some example sets for you. Okay. Some of you guys saw me on Facebook Live. I have a little whiteboard. I'll make some example sets for you so you guys can look at that, get a little bit of an understanding. Those of you who are already in my courses, you guys will be able to fine-tune your correlation knowledge a little bit more. That's going to be good for you. Those of you who do not know how I teach, you guys will have an idea of getting more, content that you can use immediately. And for those of you who are interested into the app, you guys will get an email from us as well about the app, so you guys can pick it up and just click on the email from your phone, so you can go to the iOS store directly. And then for those of you who are in Android, you can obviously there will be a link for that too, to get onto the waiting list, so we can notify you and you can join in on day one, right? Whenever we release that. So you'll be able to see all of this stuff, and I think you'll really like it. It's something that we use very heavily, the strength numbers that we do in the elite community. And then now this app, my life has become easier because I'm always on the go, and I'm very flexible with my trading. I'm always on the go. I have my laptop, and then now I have my cell phone that has the app in it. So I'm looking at my charts and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, okay, I know what pair to be careful from. Don't do that. So every time I reconfirm, should I do this or should I not, I relook at that app and be like, okay, is it helping me or is it not going to help me? It's not just that. If I'm trading and I'm going to make money, is it going to make a lot of money or little money? Look, that's a big deal. Sometimes you have this question that comes to me, Navin, when I lose this much, but when I make money, I make this much. How about we fix that? How about we fix that once and for all? So if you know what trades can travel further and take profit, isn't that going to help you hold on smoother? Because it doesn't come back so hard, you will have more faith in riding that trade instead of saying, close it. Ooh, I made $3, but that loss yesterday was 200. That's not good. It's not healthy. It's a bad risk to reward, right? So you wanna be able to use this information live. So how many of you guys here right now promise me here that you're gonna add correlation to your everyday trading? Going forward, you will not start your day without correlation. You guys have to make the promise here. Okay, this is a psychological thing that will help you enforce it, that you will do this prior to each trade in the morning. You need to, you must. It's critical. It's critical. You need to know this information because that's where the big boys are sitting. You must have this information out there. So as we're getting toward the close of the webinar, let's go over some of the Q&As. If some of the team members can launch the Q&As, let's see some Q&As on the screen and let's go over them. What do we have? Okay, I see a lot of you guys promising. Very good, very good, very good. And as long as you put in the work, you do the efforts, I will make sure I get you through into the next level and stuff like that. I have done it for many of you guys who are in my courses. You guys are raising the bar, raising the limits. Many of you guys have turned profitable, and you guys are really feeling the joy and happiness of finally there's someone out there that can help me do this. Finally, right? It's a wonderful feeling that I have also when I read your feedbacks or see your statements coming in. So thank you for sharing all that. So here's a question from Awad Al-Yami. Navin, which one should I trade from all? What? If you're talking about the correlations, you want to trade ones that are strong or weak against neutral or the opposite. Those are the ones I generally like to trade the most. Okay. So next question. Gaurav Sharma is saying, how to use correlation in stocks, please. Give one example, because in currencies, we have two currencies to compare, but in stock, what should we compare them? Okay, in stocks, you have indexes. Okay, if you have a movement in an index, you have US dollar index also, plus you have the stock indices, and also you have sectors. You have technology sectors and other sectors and pharmaceuticals. You can compare these side by side and you can see if you can find a pattern of correlation. It will really be helpful. So you can do it in stocks. I know a ton of students are doing this in stocks as well, and I'm sure you'll be able to apply it immediately. Just look into it. Look into different sectors. That will be a faster way to do it. Prasad Galande, whether pro trading strategy can be used even today. Why you stopped using it at any specific reason? Pro trading strategy was built a long time ago to make things easy to follow, like a system. A plus B is equal to C. Unfortunately, that is not my trading style. You can still use it if you have a hard time thinking and flowing and adjusting to the market. If you need something strict and be like, oh, just tell me what I need to do, then pro trading strategy is a little bit more applicable to you, because it speaks your language of be strict, be rigid, and don't do anything else. If you really want to make decent money, I would say be a little bit more flexible, and what the market shows you, learn to adjust. The next question we have is Norden 1975. Navin, please tell us about the MPA 2.0 course. Okay, so the MPA 2.0, basically what it is next month, okay, as promised last quarter, next month, we are adding the example sets into the course, and this course is now going to become even bigger. You will be able to see it. So those of you who already have the course, expect the upgrade coming in. We will be looking to raise prices, but not to worry. Those of you who already have the course, you guys will not be affected by the price change. Okay, so we will be looking to raise the rates as we go into 2019, as we add in these example sets, because the course is pretty much going to double. Okay, that's how much example sets there are. So the team has worked very hard, specifically Sergio. He's done a fantastic job in making sure you have very good feedback on this. The next question, Gaston. Navin, are you looking the flow of 1 hour and using the numbers of daily? Why? I like to use the daily because of the higher time frame. 1 hour because I want to trade in today's session. Okay, I don't want to be trading for tomorrow, holding overnight positions, going into next day. I'm more interested in trading this session. But I use the daily as my larger player to find out what's the flow. What's the flow? Who's in charge? Okay, last question. Let's go into that last question. If there's another question, we do see some questions from Lucas Liu saying, hi Navin, will you make a webinar discussing about milking the higher time frames and trading time frames? No, that is a time frame question that is too sensitive, too detailed. It's going to cause so much confusion. I'd rather not go into that into a webinar, because 1 hour is not enough. You guys will be upset and angry about that. So I don't want to get into that inside a webinar. All right, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for coming. I truly appreciate you guys taking time and being here, especially those of you who came to attend the Facebook Live and chilled with me and had some cake with me, and those of you who are taking time off to be here. Look out for my emails for the recording, for the for the app email, and also for some example sets that I'll send it to you for this week. So look out for those, and I'll see you guys in the next webinar. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.
So there you have it. Now don't forget, you can go onto the website using the links below to pick up more examples on everything that you've learned so far in this webinar, along with a live trade example. You can also go onto your iTunes or iOS store to pick up the FX Meter app for your cell phone or your iPad devices. I look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Cheers.